Just had a session at the ice bar in Stockholm. It comes from the same ice that they build the ice hotel in northern Sweden each year.
Stockholm is the capital of Sweden and has a population of around 1 million people in the city and about 2.5 million people in the metropolitan area. It comprises of 14 islands and has more than 50 bridges. From the quaint cobbled streets and coloured houses of the old town to the modern metropolitan city it is today, Stockholm is a fascinating place. Construction of Stockholm's City Hall commenced in 1911 and was completed in 1923. It is a large austere building with decorated balconies on the waterfront in Stockholm. It has a large tower, 106 metres tall, and is said to be made out of 8 million bricks. Designed by Ragnar Osterberg, the building imposes itself on the Stockholm skyline. City Hall is open to the public, but with guided tours held daily.
Beautiful scenic view of the riverfront here in Stockholm.
The Stockholm archipelago extends around 60 kilometres. Today it is a popular holiday destination with people from Stockholm, and there are some 50,000 holiday cottages in the archipelago. Visiting the larger islands is easy all year round, but during the winter period routes depend on ice conditions. Ice Bar Stockholm is the world's first permanent ice bar. The interior is carved out of 40 tonnes of natural ice from the Torne River by ice sculptors. It has now been open for 20 years and attracts both tourists and locals who want a slice of the Arctic in downtown Stockholm. Each year, the ice bar is completely redesigned every April.
Just had a session at the Ice Bar in Stockholm. It's a bar, as you would expect, made out of ice. It comes from the same ice that they build the ice hotel in northern Sweden each year. They keep the bar temperature at below 5 degrees Celsius. Entry is about 225 Swedish krona, about £20, and you get your first cocktail with that entry fee. You only get 45 minutes in the ice hotel, but that's enough to see what you want to see and do all the usual stuff. If you're meeting friends here and you want to stay for a lot longer, then it probably will get quite expensive. But other than that, good experience, but probably not one to repeat.
Ramen is fast becoming my go-to food in Scandinavia. Ramen is a great example of authentic Japanese cooking in Stockholm city centre. The food was delicious, service was good, and the background music was really jazzy and right up my street. Unfortunately, due to copyright issues with the music, I couldn't record at the restaurant. This is a restaurant well worth visiting though when you're in the city. Sweden has its very own Titanic story. The Vasa Warship sunk on its maiden voyage in 1628. Today, the Vasa Museum in Stockholm is open to retell the story. Life aboard a warship must have been challenging for the crew at this time, and the crew consisted of 300 soldiers and 150 sailors, all of whom slept on decks between the cannons. Food consisted of bread, porridge, meat, salted fish and peas. However, each man was rationed with 3 litres of beer. It is easy to imagine the cramped conditions and the smell that must have occurred on board. More people died of diseases than through the war, and there was only one person on board the ship with a degree of medical experience, and that was the barber, who was there to treat all ailments. The Swedish warship Vasa was built between 1626 and 1628. The ship, however, sunk roughly a mile into her maiden voyage. It was salvaged in 1961 and is now housed in the Vasa Museum in Stockholm and is one of Sweden's most popular tourist attractions. Originally built on the orders of the King of Sweden, Vasa was to be used as a part of his military expansion plans when he initiated war with Poland. It was armed primarily with a bronze cannon and was considered one of the most powerfully armed vessels of its time. However, Vasa was dangerously unstable and floundered just a few minutes at sea. During the recovery in 1961, thousands of artefacts and remains of at least 15 people were found. Today, the museum retells the story and is a fascinating few hours time when you visit in Stockholm. My next stop is Visby in Gotland. Come and join my continued adventures and discover this picturesque medieval town.